Well, all right. Well, let's get started. Okay, Ghostwriter, say hello to all the nice people out there watching.
What people? There's nobody here but us.
Well, trust me, there's going to be a few people that watch this. Not a whole lot of people, but people have more important things to do than watch us. But just stare right there at that. That's the camera right there, and you'll have to trust me. That really is a camera. We make them very small these days since you've last seen one. All right, so it's been a while since you've had an update of what's been going on around here. But as you can see, there's been a lot of changes lately. We got a new format, new way of thinking about things, and I've had some people have moved in. My son has moved in with his wife. He's sometimes back in a wheelchair, sometimes not. So we're just gonna do our best to take care of him over here as long as we can. So I'm moving things around and I'm discovering old things and old treasures, and I'm going to start sharing them with you as time permits. But before we do that, I thought I would start off by showing you a recent thing I got on eBay. Now, if you've ever done a search on eBay for Golden Age comics or Silver Age comics, you might see something that looks too good to be true, and they're only asking about $10 for it. And you say, wait a minute. So you click on it, and then you read the fine print, and it says a photocopy book. Now, this did not catch me by surprise, but it does get in the way of your internet search. So it can make you frustrated because you go, I just want real books. I don't want somebody that's printed a book based upon scans.
How is the print quality?
Well, the print quality is actually fairly well. For example, you'll see that there's some tanning on the pages that he scanned, and of course that's nice glossy paper. But I decided to click on this and give it a shot, and I'm going to show you some screenshots. Journey into Unknown Worlds. I thought, you know what? I always wanted to read those stories. And so I think it's going to be worth $10 to actually get to read those. So if you do it like that, then it kind of makes sense that, yeah, you can go ahead and get one of these. And I did, and I got to read them, and I thought it was pretty good. He offers quite a variety. I think I'll show his email handle here on the screen.
Does he reproduce any of my adventures?
Any of your adventures? No. I don't think he had any ghostwriter books. But keep giving him a chance if you want. You might see one. And like I said, it might be worth your while if you're just wanting to read the story, or get a photocopy book to see what it's all about. Is it as good? Is it a nice replica or a replacement? Sometimes a guy will have a short box and he wants to put a book in there as a placeholder until he gets the real thing. So what's the print quality? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Where I think he might come a little short is, I'm going to hold up a real Silver Age book, and you can see that he is a little shy of being tall enough. He needs to make the height a little bit taller, but it's not bad. Now, of course, if something should happen to me, some horrible thing, and later somebody goes through my collection, I don't want them thinking that is the real thing. And so I clearly mark it, this is a photocopy. So I think that's the best way to do it. Now, I bought 3 of these. I'll show you all 3. I bought this Journey into Mystery, which I didn't have, and these 2 Journey into Unknown Worlds. So I wanted to satisfy my curiosity. Is his printer very good? I would give it a B plus or an A minus, because most of you know that I reproduce old pulp magazines because I want to read the stories and I want to have a really good cover and I don't want it to crumble into pieces on me. So I have made over 112 pulp magazines, reproductions. And then I've often bought reproduction pulps, and I enjoy reading them. So, but no one's going to look at those and think they're legit pulps. You can tell this has to be a remake or replica, and a lot of them on the back cover say my name on it. So when you print it yourself, you can do that. I go to a special printer, and I think his printer is a little bit better than this, but this isn't bad. And if you've always seen those photocopy books on eBay, but you've wondered, I wonder what it's like, well, then allow me to, do it for you, basically, and I'm just reporting to you. So he does all the ads in case you're asking about that, and I'll just thumb through it. It's pretty good. All the pages are complete, so I'll try to get on tight a few of those. This one has some tanning. So his original had tanning, and he is just reproducing the tanning that was on his pages. So there you go. Kind of an interesting thing. Once again, here is his address if you would like to purchase any from eBay. I'm not going to necessarily say I recommend or I disapprove. I'm just shooting straight down the middle. Take it or leave it. That's what they're about. It can be a little annoying in your search engine. I don't exactly know how to filter that out. Maybe some of you guys know, and you can let me know.
Hey, Graphic, when are we going to shoot some bad guys?
Well, Ghost, we're... How do I say this? We're probably not going to shoot anybody today.
So far, all we've done is a lot of talking.
Well, I know I'm doing a lot of talking because here in the 21st century, that's kind of all we do. We sit around and we film ourselves and we talk a lot. You'll just have to kind of get used to it.
You told me there would be guns on the show.
Well, yeah, I'd be glad to show you some guns. Let's start with this model 1890. This is a Winchester. Can't fit the whole thing in the frame too good. I'll have to show some pictures on the side. This is a model 1890 Winchester. It is a pump action. So try to keep your eye on this top section. As I pull the pump back, you'll see that it is now open. And now, if your bullet happened to be there, you go forward and it's ready to shoot. And I'm going to release the hammer. It's not loaded, but just in case, we want to be very safe with that. That is the Winchester model 1890. Winchester 1890. Now, fun fact, Winchester model 1890 was developed by John Moses Browning.
John Moses Browning. He owes me $5.
Well, I'm sure he'll pay you back any day now. This Winchester shoots .22 caliber. They produced these from 1890 all the way up to 1932. It has a 24-inch barrel, and the shape is an octagon, or I have trouble pronouncing octagonal, but it's basically 8-sided, so that's your barrel. And I'll be showing more guns as we go along. I like old guns. This picture I'm showing you now is the guns I just keep in the kitchen. You might ask, what else do you have, Graphic? Well, that's probably none of your business, and we wouldn't want certain people to find that out now, would we? So, but this is the part of the show where we will sing an old campfire favorite. Let me get out my dulcimer. And there you go. Isn't that nice? All right. So let's say, how about Home on the Range? You know that one, right? You know, we may have to sing that song some other time. Meanwhile, I got some mail addressed to Graphic Man.
Oh, good. I never thought it would get here.
Why are you excited about it? It's addressed to Graphic Man.
Well, that's because I used your credit card.
Wait, what? What did you order? Gabby Hayes Romance?
Yes, it's Gabby Hayes Romance number 17. Cover story by Roy Thomas and Gil Kane.
I can't believe it. Gabby Hayes. You know, I'm going to have a talk with you about my personal bank account. How did you know how to order this? I'm confused. Gabby Hayes Romance. And I can't believe it. You know, what am I going to do with this guy? On the back's got a nice Roy Rogers playset. That's pretty nice. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, Gabby Hayes Romance. Oh my goodness. We'll read that later. Up next, I want to show this nice 2-liter glass Coca-Cola bottle. Now, I say that like that's somehow impressive. Well, it's just a dumb 2-liter. Yeah, but it's glass. I say that because I've only seen 2 of these in my whole life. And so, obviously, I had to get one.
I drank some of that back in Atlanta, Georgia. I couldn't sleep for 3 days.
Well, how can I explain? Well, they've, since you probably drank it, they've really toned down their recipe.
Good, because that stuff ought to be illegal.
Yeah. Anyway, and whenever I ask somebody, hey, do you have a 2-liter glass Coca-Cola bottle, they'll look at me funny like they've never heard of such a thing, because most everybody remembers just growing up with 16-ounce bottles and 32-ounce bottles, and if you could turn in the 16-ounce bottles, you'd get a dime. And when I was a kid, we'd go around the neighborhoods looking for bottles, and then we could, buy a comic book if we found a couple of bottles. So, has a nice metal cap. If you're a kid and you had a 32-ounce bottle, you used to peel off these little bitty edges. They're little sharp pieces of metal. But what do we know? We were kids. So it's a 2-liter glass bottle. Now, some of you that live close to Mexico probably say, oh, I always see those all the time. If so, that's great. And if I moved down there, I'd probably see all kinds of wild stuff like this. But this seemed to be kind of like a novelty, so I got it. We're going through a lot of old stuff here, and I thought I might show that somebody might be interested in this Coca-Cola. So if I sell it, I might get $5 for it. I don't know. We'll see. Feel free to make me an offer, but I'd hate to ship it. I wouldn't know how to protect. Anyway, so there you go. Glass bottle. And yes, they've changed it a lot since you last remember it, What else? Oh, yes. Speaking of mail and things that weren't charged to my account, Captain Strangelife. You remember him. He sent me this nice, really cool jazzy. But where do you see this girl, Ghost? You're gonna really climb the wall for this gal. What do you think of her, Ghost? You like her?
Maybe.
Well, it's a circus poster. It's French. I think that's the female arachnid. So there you go. Not too shabby. She might be an acquired taste. That's probably why you're not going gaga over her. But calm down. Don't get too animated. So there you go. Thank you, Captain. This will look great with my poster collection. Can't wait to find a nice spot. It's pretty big. Bigger than I thought it would be. That's great. So once again, thank you, Captain Strangelife. Seeing a lot of bizarre things on this episode, which is great. I want to quickly show you some hardback Disney books from the 1980s. It's by Abbeville Press, or Abbeville Press. I could be pronouncing that wrong. But when I was a little kid, I wanted these. There were 6 of them. The first one up I'm going to show you is Donald Duck and the Golden Helmet, and it is based on this old 4-color comic from Dell with Carl Barks artwork. This is a fabulous story. Highly recommend it. See how Donald Duck could become emperor of not only the New World, basically North American continent, proving that the Vikings were here first. These were great. You see the price tag, which when I was a youngster, this was a bit of a difficulty. It's kind of hard to beg your parents, buy me this book. It's $4, and but beautifully presented, nice Floyd Gottfredson and Carl Barks artwork on the inside. And these are the old classics. These stories are what really will turn you into a Duck fan or a Mouse fan back then. And I just absolutely love these. Printed beautifully, color. Of course, you see they went a little sideways, more landscape in their format. So they may have had to shrink or move stuff around to do that. But just absolutely fabulous stories. And there's 6 of these. And I'm going to show the first 2 Donald Ducks. There's really more than 2 Donald Ducks. But we'll get to that in a second. The next Carl Barks story is Donald Duck and the Magic Hourglass. And I have kept these in very nice condition. There is no writing on the spine, so when you put them on your bookshelf, you just see color. Like if it's a brown spine or a blue spine. So it would be nice if they had words on the spine, but that's about the only downfall of this. Now this is a Mickey Mouse story. Of course, they wanted to add variety to their cast, so they put Goofy as the main person in the story, but it's a Mickey Mouse story. Drawn by the great Floyd Gottfredson, and just super stuff. And the colors just so vibrant, wonderful. And Goofy gets in all kinds of trouble in this one, but so you won't mind so much it's being called Goofy, but it's really a Mickey Mouse story. But up next we have Mickey Mouse and the Foreign Legion. Now this story Disney doesn't allow to get reprinted because 2 of the characters in it were seen depicted a little, how shall I say it, unflattering. And so when you're dealing with ethnic people, you can also find that story in a big little book, which I also have. But so they're worth it just to get for these stories you hardly ever see. This is the Mickey Mouse meets Robin Hood. These were from the Sunday Funnies, the Sunday newspaper strips. And so it's also by Floyd Gottfredson. And then the next one I'll show you is Uncle Scrooge, Secret of the Old Castle, but it really shouldn't be Uncle Scrooge, it's really Donald Duck. This was before Uncle Scrooge kind of had his own book. So here is the 4 color that it's based on. And as you can see, it's a wonderful Donald Duck. He's a skeleton ghost with a sword. Great story. Carl Barks artwork. Fabulous. A must-have. And but once again, they wanted to add variety to the characters. This was the 1980s, and so and Uncle Scrooge outsells Donald Duck. I hate to admit it. So most of you know I'm a Donald Duck loyalist. It's not that I hate Uncle Scrooge. I like him very much. I'm just very loyal to Donald Duck, especially the stories that came before Uncle Scrooge. So, and here you see the beautiful artwork by Carl Barks. So there's 6 of these, and you can find them relatively easy. Here's that ghost. Pretty exciting stuff for a old Donald Duck book, I thought. Anyway, that's my little collection. It's a nice little set to own, and we'll get back to the show.
I've noticed that you've been wiggling around in your chair the whole time. I've been holding still for the camera. When will it flash?
Well, you don't have to hold real still. They make the cameras a lot better these days. They have a better shutter speed, I guess. Can't really explain it, but yeah, feel free to move around. You know, do like I know, wave your hands a lot. It's quite all right. Let me get everybody up to date on what I've been doing around here lately. I've updated and put in a new little red rug there from my reading area, and I've got a new box just for Mighty Mouse Comics and a box for Josie and the Pussycats. So I'm going to put in a nice little easy chair right here, and I will have plenty of good reading material available to satisfy me for the rest of my life, for years to come. Things are doing really good over here. My wife and I have recently been camping. Yes, we even camp in colder weather. We love our camper. It's a 1972 Dreamer. It was given to us by a gentleman here in Missouri who wanted it off of his property, and it was in real rough shape. And so we gutted it and tore everything out of it, and I put in a king-size bed. And for posts, I used 2x4s and landscaping timbers. It's going to hold me. It's not going to let me collapse and fall down. So it can hold anything. So it's a good 2 feet off the floor, so we could put storage underneath it. And of course, we cannot go anywhere without Graphic Dog. We've updated window curtains with Snoopy and Snoopy pillows. And of course, we take our own little Snoopy with this Graphic Dog. Something tells me that I could just turn the camera on to Graphic Dog for hours and hours of just him taking a nap out in the backyard. And some of you guys would probably actually watch that, which is pretty neat when you think about it. But that's the way it's been going over here. And I'd probably like to do a whole show just showing antiques and stuff. And I wanted to make this show a little different, show some things that are just not always comic related, and make it more cowboy centric, little cowboy humor. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we're probably gonna say adios.
Do we have to go?
Well, you said earlier you wanted to go looking for your horse. However, I don't think you're going to have much success. It's been a long time since you've been in suspended animation for well over 100 years. So, and we're going to explain that pretty soon. So you just hang in there. All will be revealed as we go along. So
yes,
I guess it's time to say goodbye. By the way, has anyone ever told you sound like AFTA Comics?
Yeah, I get a lot of that.
Good night, folks, and happy drawing.
Next time on the Graphic Man and Ghost Rider show, see how Graphic Man was lost in the middle of Missouri, as he usually is, and he discovered an old abandoned mine shaft where he found a paralyzed Ghost Rider. You won't want to miss it.